everyone. This is the Decentralized Voices podcast. My name is Daria, and I'm excited to have Simón Puebla. He is responsible for business development and sponsorship at Crecimiento Argentina. In this episode, we'll discuss upcoming DevConnect in Buenos Aires, the Web3 community in LATAM, and the Bring Argentina Onchain initiative. Stay with us, enjoy the conversation, and share this episode with your friends. Simón, I'm happy to have you today. Please share your background and how you became involved in the Web3 community in Argentina.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having Crecimiento in place. It's an honor and it's beautiful. So thank you very much. I studied business and economics with Chinese and Portuguese in between Regent's University in London and Tsinghua Daxuan in Beijing, and it was a wonderful experience. Met incredible people in the process, and started messing around with crypto when I was at uni. I was around 17-ish, and started doing a lot of stuff, and always trying to start my own projects and play around with the technology. A technology that I didn't understand that much at the moment, and I'm hoping that I understand a little bit more now. But it's always changing. It's such a fast-paced industry that you have to keep up with it. No. After university, I started a small fund. Then I closed that one, and I went to work briefly as a data analyst. Then I moved to a venture builder for a while, started a second fund with bots that automated trading strategies that I did myself before ChatGPT as a non-technical person, literally asking people on Discord for help on how to connect pieces of code that I found in repositories all around. Then while I was in a venture builder as well, we created many, I'm very likely going to talk about this later on, many startups. We sold a few, created a Web3 culture brand as well called Blurred Future that's still around. And then I was like, no, I want to go full into the Web3 mood. Took a few months off, got the opportunity to set up a VC with a few partners. We set it up. I thought I was going to like it more than I did. It wasn't for me. And while I was founding the VC in Spain, like Emi, a great friend of mine, founder of Crecimiento, he reached out and he was like, man, we need a hand here. Do you wanna join the project now and do some crazy stuff with us, in Argentina? And I was like, yeah, most definitely, man, let's do it. And here we are now. It's almost a year after, 3 pop-ups in our background, and a lot of cool friends made in the way.
Yeah, so you have your international experience. Can you share how it shaped your approach to building projects and growing communities?
On the project side, there's many people that I have to be thankful for who have taught me a lot on how to approach this, no? Starting from my dad and my mom with you gotta fall in love with what you're doing, to then moving to the venture building side at BYLD.xyz, an incredible company led by people like Julia, Adri, who taught me a lot on how to become a builder and gave me tools to do it. And they told me to fall in love with the problem rather than with the solution or the technology behind it. So it's always been focused around solving problems, and it's something that we have a lot to do in Argentina. It's one of the reasons why Crecimiento exists. When it comes to projects as well, it's always been around that curiosity side of things and trying to solve problems that were beyond my capability, but it's always allowed me to study a little bit. I've never been a good student. I was decent, but I always like doing more than just learning. I need to understand to execute correctly, and I wouldn't be able to understand if I don't mess with it with my hands, no? So that's why I always did, and I was starting while I was creating stuff. And when it comes to growing communities, I think it has a lot to do. Where I'm very thankful to the life I've had. Where I've had to, I was born in Argentina, then I lived in Spain, lived in Portugal with my dad briefly, lived in the UK, lived in China, and all those movements forced me to be someone a little bit more social. Because otherwise, I mean, you need to be creating new friends, and you need to get better at onboarding people into your group of friends as well. And learning those languages like Portuguese, Spanish, English, or Chinese allows you to build better social ties with people because you're actually dedicating time to understand their culture. So it's always been a pleasure and it's always been helpful when it comes to building a community. And it's definitely something that we've been doing a lot in Crecimiento lately. We've welcomed people from more than 30 countries. I think more than 6,000 people have come. So it's the mental amount. You need to be able to have that open mindset to welcome everyone, to understand different cultures. And I think it's always around, for the community at least, is having a clear purpose, but being flexible for that purpose. Maybe not the long-term vision to change, but yeah, the details of it. Because I mean, people people's feedback are normally going to make it better and it's going to make you grow faster.
Yeah, for sure. And like your experience is super impressive. I wanted to ask you about like how many languages do you know? Yeah, but you answered this question, and it's super cool that you know Chinese and Portuguese and Spanish, of course. So yeah.
Don't expect me to speak them perfectly though. Like it's just like I can go around and and save myself, but like obviously, I mean, I'm not super fluent. Both in Portuguese and Chinese is a C1 level in Europe, which is very good, but still a lot to learn. It's a very complicated language.
Let's talk more about Crecimiento and what impact does it have on blockchain ecosystem of Argentina.
Crecimiento has done something beautiful, which is uniting an OG community with newcomers in a country that has welcomed crypto always from the beginning. There's an incredible level of technical talent. Probably there's a country with more solidity devs that there's ever been in history. And I think that is a beautiful part of what Crecimiento has contributed to the ecosystem. Because I mean, we always talk about the PayPal mafia, for example, and like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and all these people going out and then funding their own startups afterwards. We have that OG talent in crypto in Argentina that can inspire new builders. All we just need to do is get them closer or help them to interact with each other. So that is something that has contributed a lot. Also, we put some clear objectives on what we see it is the best way to integrate crypto in the country and also integrate it in a way that generates real adoption and allows startups to actually grow comfortably and choose Argentina as a place to grow. And this, if we go to 3 bullet points, means onboarding 10 million people on chain. There's already 10 million people using crypto in Argentina, which
Wow.
is fascinating, out of a
Yeah.
40 million population.
Yeah.
And onboard those 10 million through 10xing the amount of startups in the ecosystem. And enough, since we started, there's been more than 600 or 700 startups who have started at Crecimiento, have joined Crecimiento at any given time, and more than 1,300 projects, I believe. We've welcomed 25% of the people we receive monthly are founders. And we've had already more than 1,200 applications in June of people who want to come and work at the Left Hub, our co-working space in Buenos Aires. So you see that more builders generate more founders bring more founders around them because people realize that they can actually take the leap and start their own projects. So we've seen incredible projects. And we're very thankful again, like, I don't know, the Ethereum Foundation, Lisk, CK Sync, Aztec, and some many other projects, Polygon, Nethermind, they joined as well. These projects who actually who have come to Argentina and be like, yeah, we want to mingle with builders. We're going to give technical workshops. We want to do events. We want to sponsor what you guys are doing. We want to see this movement succeed. The movement trying to make Argentina the crypto capital of the world. So that also helps a lot to have their support in what we do.
How does Crecimiento look like? What is this? Is it like co-working space for events or pop-up city? So can you describe?
How do we look? It's actually a beautiful question to. It depends obviously on the who you ask. No, we have several ecosystem programs within what we are in Crecimiento. In one side is the more structural part of Creci, which is the hub, an open, free co-working space for builders that is in Palermo, in this very cool place of Buenos Aires, where everybody's welcome. They just need to apply. They just need to have a project or something that they want to work with or a purpose around participating in our events. And you have a space where suddenly you have DeFi days on Tuesdays, AI Thursdays on, obviously on Thursdays. Fridays, you have a creators economy day. Then there's always events and meetups going on. There was an N8N going on last week. And some other incredible initiatives they're community driven. I think we've had more than 70 community driven initiatives so far this year. And that means the stuff that is going on, that people are building, using, and leveraging the space. No, we want people to use it. Also, that is a very clear, interesting way to see it. Then we have the startup side that we were mentioning. No, is becoming part of our startup group, or startup club. Sorry, means being part of and aware of everything that is going on with Crecimiento, being in contact with the startups that we have, with the protocols that we're in contact with, being able to access the network that Crecimiento has, being different connections with other startups in the club that you can actually create stuff together. Then we have all these other initiatives that you can do within the club that makes you like one of the Crecimiento startups. it is pretty cool, pretty much, because it gives you a little bit of support. We know that the founder life can be a little bit sad and a little bit lonely at times. So we want to create a little bit of that space for you to feel more comfy. So that's definitely a cool, not one of the ways that we look in Creci. Then we have our regulatory side, an incredible team behind it with like me and Theo, and Franny, who are working on first passing the first tokenization sandbox in the history of Argentina. But now it's in like, now it's being, I think it's called public consultation. So we're doing roundtables around it to define how crypto can play a role in that, and we're actively working. Well, Mili, especially, she's leading the team. She's been an active contributor of the drafting of the sandbox, and also we're pushing for the special economic zone, which is the third objective that we have in Crecimiento out of those that I mentioned. No, like 10x in the amount of startups and the onboarding people. That one is probably the most ambitious endeavor that we have, and it means creating the first digital special economic zone in LATAM, where we can give the right pretty much everything to crypto startups who want to build with the safe regulation, with the right taxes, with the right opportunities, and give them that possibility. And it would be something historical, definitely. We're leveraging, obviously, there's been a lot of cases throughout history. China with Shenzhen, who's like 100,000 population, in 1978, and now they have 17 million people and they contribute to 21% of the GDP of China. We see that maybe we can inspire something like that, and we want to push it because it's a lifetime opportunity in a society that is pushing for more special zones, digital and non-digital. We've seen what Prosper has been doing. They're definitely an inspiration. There's special economic zones have doubled since 2008, and we see there's a trend in there, and we want to put Argentina in that map, because that would be historic and that would be a new opportunity. And now we're looking for actually supporters to achieve that. We're actively looking for partners who want to bring the technology into the special economic zone. We're looking for partners who want to support with funding the construction of the special economic zone with all that means. And it's a unique opportunity to change the way of a country that is now welcoming, it's more welcoming to these sort of initiatives because of the current political window that is open in Argentina.
Yeah, it sounds impressive and very cool and huge. It sounds huge.
Massive, massive, massive.
Yeah. Who helps you? Like what local or international communities or maybe like institutions help you in this already?
Well, I mean, we're very like we have a team either from the ecosystem side or from the legal side that we're mentioning that have focused a lot on the ecosystem side. We have Paulo, Dino, Lain, Sandy, who have pushed a lot of partnerships across the region, across the world. Locally, we've partnered with universities across Buenos Aires, across Rosario, Mendoza. That's where I'm from. We've partnered with many blockchain labs across all the universities too. It's people who are actively being part of it. So actually, we're giving grants to people now who wanna. We're organizing a hackathon, the biggest hackathon in the history of LATAM, from the 28th to the 3rd of August. Who's going to be welcoming a lot, very likely more than 2,500 people, and well, it's going to be massive. And we're giving grants to people who want to join and buy a few pizzas and hack together at their universities or at different places. So obviously, if you're listening to that and you're one of those, reach out to us, please, because happy to contribute to those. Then we have partners with like the city of Buenos Aires. We have partnerships with different contacts in the government as well, who've been supportive. We have, well, Saya, which is one of the, if I'm not wrong, is the AI organization, government organization. We've worked together with our CND. So sorry, it's called like I'm a little bit bad with this. It's called the SEC, like the SEC in the US, but in Argentina. And also we have like legal partners all across, like obviously the US and across the region, who are supporting the contribution of this. We've worked with some very famous lawyers on the special economic zone subject to, and yeah, many. We're very likely that on the government or more Argentina side of things. And then in the private sector, now we're organizing a fintech summit that is bringing a lot of attention from other bigger fintech companies in Argentina. We've worked in the past, obviously, with some of the protocols that I mentioned before and some others, like Wormhole was there. We're partners with DevConnect, which obviously is going to be a huge boost for everything that we're building. So lot of support, and which it makes it beautiful because it shows that there's people who care and see the opportunities that we have in Argentina. And they're not only contributing with their time, they're contributing with the money and with their time to make that change. So, I mean, for us, we can it's an honor, obviously to welcome all that strength and to put it like streamline it in a way that creates more impact.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's super cool that you have in Argentina this strong and powerful community, people who contribute to the ecosystem and to bring in Argentinians on chain. By the way, what is this? What's the initiative? And like, tell a bit more about the Bring Argentina on Chain initiative.
Bring Argentina Onchain idea is born after the DevConnect announcement, where we actually realized that DevConnect is coming, and it's a huge opportunity to put the spotlight in the projects that are building in Argentina and in the region. And these people can actually use their technologies and their use cases in the 25,000 people that are going to be coming for DevConnect to Buenos Aires, and they can actually validate. So we want to find the startups who are doing real use cases in Argentina who want to actually bring and put Argentina on chain in a way, So with that idea, we were like, all right, cool. So in order to do that, we need to create the biggest builder funnel in LATAM's history and create a very divergent approach to startup creation, do the biggest hackathon in LATAM, get builders all across the region, get bounties from protocol, get everything to be the most attractive experience ever. Once we get the hackathon done, grab the best builders with the best projects in the LATAM and put them in a sort of like a founder school buildathon sort of initiative. We give like products, UX, UI, technical, any sort of support that is needed from the protocols that they're trying to use and the network that we have. Bring like most relevant founders to give talks to this experience and to those builders, and actually foster, focus a lot on their curiosity and give them all the tooling that they need to take that hackathon project or that startup that wants to do something in LATAM all the way, give them all the tools to go and become a full-fledged MVP, a startup with an MVP. And once we have that, create the Startup World Cup at DevConnect, which is going to be happening from the 17th to the 22nd of November. And what we want to do is, did you pitch at the hackathon? Did you submit something? Do you get accelerated afterwards? Come to DevConnect, your idea in front of the most relevant crypto people in the planet, VCs, incubators, accelerators. We're going to put everyone on the spotlight. We're going to find the best privacy startups in LATAM. We're going to find the best ones on identity, the best ones on social fi, real world assets, infra, and some other verticals. And then out of all of those, who are the top 10 startups in LATAM? And obviously, in the other side of that page, you're gonna have investors, accelerators, and it's gonna be we're gonna try to change the life of all the builders who apply, or at least give them a pathway for them to walk, and hopefully through their work, because there's something they can only do, be in front of the people that have maybe they dreamed, as it's happened to us. I mean, now we've had the opportunity, we're talking about this with a friend lately, that is thanks to Crecimiento, we've had the chance to have dinner with people we admired from like the last 5 years, and suddenly they are part of the team or they are part of Crecimiento, and we can have a conversation with them. We want to make that opportunity broader and give that opportunity to more builders across the region, because I'm a first believer that crypto is for emerging markets, and LATAM is the next biggest market for the industry.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you, and I will ask you a bit about a bit later about this. But now let's talk more about DevConnect upcoming like huge event. You mentioned that you expect around 25,000 people, right?
25,000 people will be coming to DevConnect. Many of them are coming from inside of Argentina as well.
Yeah. It's like 2 times bigger than DevCon in
Oh,
Bangkok.
I don't know. I think we might have very high expectations with everything that is in the roadmap and with how attractive this is going to be. We are preparing for that amount of people. And we're preparing some surprises that hopefully we can get done. That if we do, are going to become some World Guinness record breakers. Because I mean, if we have that many people, that amount of support, and so many people trying to make history and start their career their opposition, their startups in Latam, is the moment to do this crazy stuff, to do these crazy initiatives, to make enough noise, and to put everything there. Just so in that sense, aside from this builder funnel that I was mentioning before, We are doing a 2-month-long festival that is going to have obviously AI weeks, interrupt weeks, and some other content from different verticals that we mentioned before as well. We're going to be doing a crypto conference before DevConnect, where we're going to be welcoming many protocols and many very special founders. We're going to have some cultural events, some concerts, and literally we're taking the concept of the pop-up a little bit farther and trying to engage many different initiatives and many different. We're experimenting as well. We're learning, which is something that is important to do. Even though like pop-ups have been amazing so far, and we've got a lot of support for it, and many people came, we need to continue developing what we do. I mean, it's the secret sauce of all of us. No, we need to keep focusing on the innovation side of things and learn through testing. It's the only way. So we're gonna test a lot of new ideas that we have out.
What was the key factor in bringing DevConnect to Argentina?
Basically, when Crecimiento started, it was started as a few meetings in March, April, and then became something more real in May, and turned out to be a very incredible event in August, 2020. In August 24, a few people filled out an application for Buenos Aires to be part of DevConnect. We made a lot of noise, and we were very annoying. And we welcomed the Ethereum Foundation in December. Then they were part, and Vitalik and his whole team, they were all basically staying in the hub, working with builders. It was a pop-up that was very special because it's literally you would see Vitalik around just talking to people, doing talks, having his own place to work, and it was very normal, which is the beauty of pop-ups. No, it's not a very intense event where like BDs like me, we go and we have this like 5-6 minute conversation with people. It's like, wow, we need this and that, we should collab, blah, blah, blah. See you later. No,
Yeah.
that doesn't apply. I mean, that might happen in September because it's more hectic because it's a 5 days event where you need to put everything there. You need to meet many people. Pop-ups give you the opportunity to connect and meet and see someone from many times, have a few coffees, chat, talk about stuff that is not directly related to work. So you build deeper or stronger social ties with those people, no? Which is a fundamental concept in the pop-up city idea. And then you see these people all around again. And we want to create a little bit of that space of like, come and mingle with crypto people, network state people, people who are interested in using on-chain tooling to scale the level of governance that we have in countries, to talk about real use cases of crypto. And I think that's gonna be part of the magic that we're gonna have. Sorry, but maybe like I went on the other side of the question, but
No,
I don't know if there's something I left unanswered.
No, everything is great. And I see how many Argentinians who live abroad or who live in Argentina, how like you people, how you promote Argentina in the global scene. It's super cool because I know that Buenos Aires had a competitor to host DevConnect, and I see that like Argentinians did everything
Yes.
to bring this event to Buenos Aires. It was super.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I don't know if you remember in DevCon that we were wearing this bring DevConnect to Argentina t-shirts all around. We were doing
Yeah, by the way, yes, I remember. Yeah.
yeah, no, we printed 1,000 t-shirts, Argentina t-shirts, and we gave them away during DevCon. So we could see a lot of people wearing the Argentina t-shirt just to put a message across. I remember because the idea was Santi or Manon. I had a brilliant idea and so proud of the team who put that together, obviously. Because we were really, how do we say it? Like, it cannot be a better timing for this when it comes to the country, when it comes to bringing this. The political situation of Argentina has been complicated last 20 years. And now, without getting into political subject, it's just more open to startups and innovation and technology. Look at what Uniswap is doing now. They're doing a LATAM tour where they go into Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, and Argentina. It's one of the places that you have to go. We're hosting them in Buenos Aires next week. They're gonna be doing like a Uniswap week with experiences in the hub, with experiences in the house they rent. We're doing a massive asado for the community. We encourage every protocol that comes to Argentina to do an asado. We love it, and it's a great way to get the community to get the community together. There were competitors. I have no doubt they were also as amazing and as the value proposition was as incredible. But we were also lucky. We put the work to do it as well, and we're happy to be celebrating it and bringing the Ethereum World Fair to Buenos Aires.
Can you explain why crypto is so crucial to Argentina?
If we go a few years back, Argentina had a 30% monthly inflation, and you had a cap, and you could only buy $200 per month,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what does it mean? you had no hedge against inflation. So under like in that condition, people turned to crypto because there was a need. There was like, man, I need to find a solution to this. Otherwise, I'm losing 30% of my money monthly, or the value of my money, no? Argentina has welcomed crypto out of necessity, and we've seen this that and that adoption that it mostly comes in like either savings or like DeFi use cases or payments, settlements, stuff like that. We've seen that those are a few problems that can be fixed through crypto, but there's more problems that we could natively solve through crypto. Argentina has still struggles with and now it's a little bit better, but with the stable coin idea. I mean, peso moves back and forth and changes the price a lot. Then struggles a bit with the concept of mortgages and loans and accessing those. That's something that could be enhanced in Argentina. I'm not talking about anything, obviously, well, access to investment, for example, too.
Yeah.
So those are things that are native to crypto, native to tokens. So like basically the reason why this has been welcomed so bad is because so positively, sorry, is because there's an actual opportunity to be filled with crypto solutions. And what we say about crypto solutions is literally Aave coming in. The idea of identity and like the solutions that Quark ID is passing,
Yeah.
or what CK Sync has pushed so far, or the initiatives that Aztec might have in the near future in Argentina. I always see it like when I think about the US or Europe, that currencies, at least at the moment, they work and you don't need an alternative financial system in Europe
Yeah.
and the US because things more or less work. But if you go to Argentina, you do need one, clearly. And that puts Argentina as a perfect testnet for crypto use cases.
You lead fundraising at Crecimiento. What unique challenges or opportunities have you faced in the LATAM ecosystems? What is more difficult?
Well, I mean, always doing fundraising is a complicated thing.
Yeah.
Is a very difficult. You need to be very empathetic with people. You need to understand the current problems that they have. It takes time. It's nothing that can be done. At least that's the way I approach it. Like I prefer to build connections with the people who are gonna be making these decisions, so I can actually be fully transparent and fully honest with what they need, what we do, and how it fits. I don't want to oversell anything. Like definitely a few key problems that we've had is, for example, there's many people who believe Argentina is more cheaper than it actually is. Argentina right now is in a pretty expensive moment. So they're like, "Do you actually need that money?" It's like, yes. Having like a hub that can welcome 1,500 people or 2,000 people a month and 400 people daily and I don't know, it's 1,500 square meters in the center of Palermo. It cost a bunch of money, the team and everything, and have that ready. That is so is something that creates a little bit of surprise. They expect Argentina to be a little bit cheaper, and I say this as a heads up for all those projects or protocols that are listening now and they want to do something cool in Argentina for DevConnect. Prepare to do some spending because that's going to be more expensive than I think. Then something that we've seen is I've spoken to some VCs, and some VCs are sometimes scared about how their money is protected, and they should be obviously, I mean, not financial advice, but they should be more calm about it. And
Yeah.
Argentina is fully compliant, is fully regulated, so it's not a problem. But I've seen that fear from which I understand it. I mean, you're investing in an emerging market, it can be complicated. I do see it, but it's something they can be more relaxed about, I think. Also, sometimes something that we've seen, and I think we need to change this in not only in Argentina, but in the region. I think we have incredibly talented builders doing super cool projects, but we need to get better at the scope of the solution that we have and more ambitious with it, actually. I think LATAM builders build to solve local problems, and that is a mistake because we have talent that it can actually work and put like global like talent. So it can put it can create with how do you say with there's the right word for it. Sorry, I forgot. With global execution standards. That's what I wanted to say. Because we have that. There's Argentine people building in the biggest companies in the world. Everybody in crypto has an Argentine person in the team, and we have the capability, and we need to think bigger. I always put the same example, but you probably know that when in the US, you might be in the Uber going from place A to B, and the Uber driver is talking to you about his startup and how he is going to tackle a global market. And there is something in their education that we need to take to LATAM. Because if we put that ambition in our people and we put the
It's
talent that we
the
have,
mindset.
It's a mindset. It's definitely a mindset that we need to put in the builders. If we get that with the level of talent that we have and with the amount of solutions that have been built with so little resources to do so, man, I literally don't know where we can go as a region. We have the chance to do everything we can. And I'm very bullish in LATAM for the next few years because of this, especially if we change this mindset.
Okay, and what is more difficult, attracting people to Argentina or managing on site everything, all this logistics and operations?
I mean, we are at the end of the world. I mean, I'm gonna give that to people. I've never thought about it. Funny enough, I've been traveling from Spain to Argentina all my life, so for me it was normal. And then I was like, people were saying like, "Wow, but going to Argentina is such a trip." I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Yeah, man, you're literally in the end of the world." I was like, "Yeah, fair enough." So I mean, taking people to Argentina is definitely complicated. We luckily we've done a lot of work and we've put a little bit of reputation. We have a reputation now, so they know that when they come, they're gonna come to an event that is with global standards and with the best quality that we can have and the best talent possible. Because we have something beautiful in Argentina is that we have a crypto culture, as we were saying before. So you're gonna come and you're gonna meet local builders out of like literally the first moment that you arrive. And it is something very important in pop-up cities, mixing international people with local talent. Because in my opinion, digital nomads have this sort of pollination role in pop-up cities that they bring new solutions to local problems and then they share them with local builders and they adapt the international vision to the local vision and you have new perspectives to solve problems. I think that's the most fundamental and beautiful role that digital nomads play in pop-up cities. And we see that a lot. But then, obviously, when the pop-up is running and you have, as we were saying, in the last pop-up, we welcomed 3,600 people. Coordinating that is a like literally is something that I give to the team of the operations team with Mecha, and then the ecosystem team that we mentioned before with Pablo, Santino, Sandy, Ain, because they do literally I don't know magic, man. They go for they coordinate the best talks, conferences. They do all these little programs, and suddenly there's like little initiatives going on that add value, and they add more value in a small scale. But when you look at it from perspective, they've put together the organization of a 24/7, 1 month long event, and they did it in an incredible way. So I think bringing people to Argentina, and I think that there's a beautiful metric that I can use here. We've welcomed around 6,000 people in the 5,600, 6,000 people, unique people in our pop-ups, but we've had a total attendees of 11,000, meaning that people have come at least twice to our events. So what does it mean? That the ops team, the ecosystem team, us and the VDM funding team, and all of us were part of the Crecimiento, especially marketing team with Tachi and Tommy, they put together an incredible job that people actually want to leave again. And I think that's a metric that we're very proud of. Hopefully we can keep increasing it. So definitely both of them are very, very complicated and they have their unique tricks. But once they come, they come again most of the times.
Yeah, retention is super important and you have it, and that's success. So, what's something uniquely Argentinian that first time visitor will experience in Buenos Aires when attending DevConnect?
Well, first of all, I think it's the human quality that you're gonna encounter. That's the most relevant thing that we have for sure. You're gonna come across people who are willing to talk, who know what they're talking about when it comes to technology, who are willing to listen to what you bring for the ideas that you bring to the table, and who are gonna be fast thinking, are gonna be able to provide an answer to what you're saying straight away. Because that's not something that is very natural to Argentina, the ability to react
Mhm.
throughout our history, there's always been little or bigger problems that have made our society flexible and capable of adapting very quick. So you see that in conversations, at a smaller scale. That people are always ready to change their opinion or to adapt the message, to listen to what you're saying and provide feedback or ideas around the topic that you bring to the table. So that's definitely that deep talent pool of people who are willing to talk and listen is the most impressive thing. Then the level of collaboration that we have with local government initiatives and yeah and government offices, because in Argentina crypto is not seen as a danger, as a threat, it's seen as an opportunity. So these people who suddenly come to the hub and they're wearing a suit and a tie, and they are completely different to us, wearing our the crypto merch, funny socks. They are willing to come and listen. And that is something that you don't see very often. The connection of those two worlds, and that's something that the legal team has done incredibly with connecting the crypto ecosystem that we have in the crypto startup world with the regulatory side of things and with fintech chamber and some other big governmental departments. Those two things are definitely wonderful. And then I encourage everyone to have the Asado experience because it's a cultural event where you literally you share what you have. I mean, everything is cooked in the same place. You share it with the people that you're around. You're eating, you're talking, and don't talk about crypto in that opportunity. Talk about crypto for a little bit, but talk about life, talk about the country.
About
If you have the
meat.
opportunity, I literally have the opportunity to travel around Argentina. Buenos Aires is an incredible city with so much cultural propositions happening every day. But also, if you go down to, and if you go to Mendoza, for example, that's where I'm from. You have the most incredible wineries in the country, incredible sightseeing with the biggest mountains in Argentina. Or if you go down to the south in Bariloche, I just don't have words to describe the level of powerful nature is in there, which is incredible to see. There's a lake that is 3 times the size of the city of Buenos Aires, just so you have the comparison of that, no? It's an
Yeah.
incredibly big country, and people need to plan that in advance as well, because you might think like, "Ah, I'm gonna go here and there, and like, but from Buenos Aires to Mendoza, there's one place of the country to the other
No,
one.
you're not in Switzerland.
Literally, it's gonna take you 2.5 hours to reach by plane.
Yeah.
Incredible opportunities there, and we're willing to build those experiences to people too and help in any way we can.
Yeah, great. And the last question is like, what is one thing that excites you personally the most about Crecimiento and about DevConnect?
Whoa, one thing is very complicated. If you think about this answer from the perspective of our team, we've been thinking about DevConnect since March, every day, planning details, planning parts of the events, planning the builder funnel. And so we're very willing for it to happen. But if I can choose a specific thing that's gonna happen that I'm very excited about, I'm gonna choose two because one is too difficult. But like one is
Two things.
one is definitely the hackathon that we're planning from the 29th to the 31st. That if we pull that through, that we're surely going to do it, it's literally doing a historic event in the region. It's reaching out to communities in every single LATAM country, putting a mini hub in all of those, getting builders from every single country, and onboarding all those people into a digital competition for them to build solutions using technology that we find that protocols are putting out there for them to do it. That is there's like the opportunity, the chance to say that we're doing that. It's just beautiful because it's definitely historic, no, for the region. And it's gonna put many builders in the spotlight that we don't know yet that might potentially become the next super builder of the crypto industry. And we want to give that opportunity. So that one is something that excites me a lot. Now, hopefully the second one is getting closer to the digital special economic zone and getting through the roadmap that we have for it and getting more partners and sponsors who want to join it, build a business case and build that historically that event that can actually change the way Argentina is going to go for the next 20, 30 years. But that one, both initiatives are very exciting, very cool, very complicated as well. But man, we have the best team with the best talent to make it happen. We have a program called the Crecimiento Support Program that is onboarding community or people who want to do this. It's more than 70 ecosystem initiatives that I mentioned before. So it's not only us, it's also the community working to make that happen and many more other things. And we've built something that is and that is actually making noise and is making noise from the bottom up, from the community, actually pushing what they want to do, pushing what they want Crecimiento to be, and we're building that. So it's something to be proud of. It's something that we're going to remember for the rest of our lives, for sure.
I'm sure that you have all chances and all possibilities to make it happen and bring more people to Argentina and bring more Argentinians to on-chain. I wish you amazing event in November. And guys, you can book your tickets now, actually. Thank you, Simon, for sharing this amazing experience and for sharing what's happening in Argentinian Web3 community. So guys, I'll leave all the links under this video so you can go follow Simón, follow Crecimiento, and keep an eye on DevConnect. Thanks for attention and see you in the next episode. Bye.